how to generate residential roofing customers without wasting time or money on ineffective marketing. What's going on, guys? My name is Sergio with Rolling Revenue to introduce you to the Projects on Demand system with 100% guaranteed results. So with that in mind, guys, here's what we're going to cover in this quick training here. We're going to discuss how to generate qualified roofing opportunities in a matter of just days after this training. We're going to discuss how to get those leads to schedule automatically while you sleep and even on the weekend. I'm excited to dive into that portion of this short video here. I'm also going to walk you through how to get guaranteed qualified appointments, actual face-to-face sit-downs, guaranteed scheduled on your calendar as early as this week. And more importantly, I'm gonna walk you through how to prove this system in your market with guaranteed results. Now look, I know this all sounds crazy. Trust me, I get it. I understand you're thinking this sounds impossible, or you might have heard claims just like this before. But bear with me, I'm kind of walk you through our process and again, prove it works with guaranteed results. With that in mind, who am I, right? Well, I've had the privilege of spending multiple generations in the construction industry. We've built and sold a few companies. I'm also one of the founders here of Rolling Revenue's Projects on Demand system. Now, what is the Projects on Demand system? Well, we've had the privilege of generating over $11 million worth of new projects in the last year alone in over 78 different markets right now. In fact, we're on track to increase these numbers for our clients year in and year out. Right now, we're spending well over $1 million per year on marketing campaigns all across the country. In fact, I took a screenshot inside just one of our ad accounts here. As you can see, $300,000 spent in about a 4.5 month period here. And here's what I'll say about that. You don't spend a couple $100,000 until you learn what works, what doesn't work, and more importantly, how to generate results, how to actually get guaranteed results on your marketing campaigns. So with that in mind, here's some more quick stuff on us. We've been featured on multiple publications, including Forbes. We've also spoken across the country on the topic of project acquisition. We've won numerous awards, and more importantly, and my favorite part here, we are revenue partners. We focus on what matters, right? What matters at the end of the day is not how many clicks you get, not how many views you've gotten, not even the number of leads. It's how much revenue did you generate from your leads. We focus on the only thing that you care about, which is generating results. So with that in mind, I've got a quick question for you. Is this training worth your time? I know you guys are super busy. You got a ton of things going on. You got a team to oversee. You got projects coming in left and right. Why would you want to sit here and watch through this training? Well, here's some quick case study here. We got John from Quality Roofing and Remodeling. Now, prior to using our system, he was running TV ads, newspaper ads, billboard ads. He had never ran online aside from using HomeAdvisor. Now, his very first month using our system, he generated 92 exclusive leads at 100-to-1 return on investment. I actually took a screenshot inside his ad account his first month here. 92 leads at $10 a piece here. His first month, he closed 4 projects, the smallest project being worth $15,000, again, in under 1 month. Here's another case study here, Beyond Contracting. They've been with us for a little while now. Our worst month using the Projects on Demand system gave us a 15-to-1 return on investment. Our best month was over a 50-to-1 return on investment. At this point, he scaled our program where he's averaging 24 new appointments per month that are guaranteed, meaning face-to-face, sit-down, exclusive appointments guaranteed, guys. Here's another case study here. It's actually one of our favorites just because he was super skeptical to use our system when we first partnered up. So he closes in his very first month $50,000 worth of new projects. Again, his very first month using our system. He had tried a ton of different lead sources, and he had tried SEO, he had tried Google, he had tried HomeAdvisor and Angie's List and door knocking, everything, and it didn't really seem to work. Well, he's been with us for about 6-7 months now. As you can see, here's his lead costs in the times he's been with us, averaging a 28-to-1 return on investment, guys. So with that in mind, I would say it's definitely worth your time so you can figure out how to generate 28-to-1 returns on investments, how to add an extra $50,000 to $100,000 worth of new project revenue in under a month. So with that in mind, guys, let's take a second to talk about some of the problems going on right now in the marketplace. So you're spending money on low quality or inconsistent lead sources. There's also an epidemic of marketers out there who are over-promising and under-delivering. They're promising you the world, and when it comes time to deliver, you get absolutely nothing but a whole bunch of clicks and views and leads that don't convert into anything, right? So it's causing you guys to have empty calendars, and you're chasing down a whole bunch of uninterested leads, and you're missing out on opportunities, and your sales guys are also missing out on a ton of opportunities. And there's also right now so much more competition than ever before. And finally, there's also the fact that these lead generation companies and marketing companies don't understand that you don't really care about generating leads. You care about the leads converting into projects. Now, you understand that you have to generate the lead to convert the project, but at the end of the day, if it's a low quality lead or if it's not turning into a qualified project, it's actually an expense overall, right? So with that in mind, I'm about to cut through all the BS and show you what is actually working today, not just to generate a whole bunch of leads, but to actually get qualified projects to close. So here's some of the old ways of doing things. Before in the past, if you wanted to market online, aside from obviously Home Advisor, Houzz, Angie's List, all these things, if you want to take to your internal marketing where you're running branded campaigns, maybe you go on Google, you run some AdWords, maybe you did some SEO, etc., which takes 6 to 9 months before you start seeing some real results. The problem is with Google, because there's so much competition, 97% of your traffic is immediately bouncing off. And so if you're spending $1,000, $970 are really going straight down the drain because only 3% are actually converting. And the reason is there's so much to do on your website. They're reading your About Us, they're reading your FAQs, they're reading some of the projects you've done, and next thing you know, they're bouncing off, right? Or they're off to the next person just to kind of price shop and all that sort of thing. So what that means is you're not maximizing your advertising dollars, okay? Here's some things that started to change. Again, competition became more and more stiff, and so did the prices to actually advertise. In the past, Google AdWords used to be incredibly underpriced. And so even if only 3% actually converted, at the end of the day, that 3% was more than enough for you to get a robust ROI. Now, SEO takes longer to convert, and it's way more difficult to stay ranked on that first page. And so conversions are ultimately dropping from a lead standpoint, and so is the number of qualified leads. You're getting less and less leads, and less of those leads are actually converting. But there is a new way that really is guaranteed to work. As you can see here, some screenshots from one of our clients here, 211 leads coming in at $5 a piece. These are exclusive branded leads. 563 leads. He's been with us for a little bit under a year, at $15 a piece here, guys. Now, a few things to keep in mind. This new way of doing things actually requires less work on your end. It cheapens your cost per lead, meaning you're getting at a more cost-effective rate while simultaneously increasing the quality. And in a second, you'll see why. So here's a 30,000 foot view of how we actually generate these leads. Here's an example of just some of our system and how it works. So first and foremost, we take a multi-channel approach, meaning we're running campaigns on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc. Now, the reason that we do that is because, believe it or not, that actually gets you cheaper leads at a more quality rate. Now, I know it sounds counterintuitive because you would think we're advertising on multiple channels, it would be more expensive, but it's actually the opposite. This is how we're able to get leads at $15 a piece, exclusive branded leads at $5 a piece, etc. Because we're getting them pennies on the dollar. They're seeing you at every possible angle, so their perception is, this roofing company must be the only logical choice in my market, so I'm gonna go with them versus going with Bob down the road. I hope that makes sense. And then what we're also doing is, instead of driving traffic to the homepage of your website, we're actually driving traffic to an online sales funnel. So in the example I gave earlier, where only 3% of your traffic is actually opting in and converting, with our online sales funnels, because they're specific to the type of offer that prospect is looking for, whether it's a repair, whether it's a replacement, whether it's shingles, etc., we're getting opt-in rates at 40 to 50%, meaning you're maximizing your advertising dollars. Instead of 97% going down the drain, we're getting 50% opt-ins, meaning 50% of people who land on that page are going to give you a phone call or inquire, okay? And then what we're also doing is not just sending over leads, we're also automating all of the follow-up with text message and email campaigns, essentially acting as an extension of your sales team. As part of our system, we even get automatic scheduled appointments on your calendar, okay? Now, here's the real secret sauce. The real secret sauce. We leverage targeted behavioral data to go after prospects who are ready to take action right now. So what does that mean? Well, if you guys have been in sales for a while, you know that only 3% of the market is ready to buy right now. And 6 or 7% are open to buying, but they just don't know who they're going to go with, and they don't know if they're going to do it right now. Well, what if you had a system that only went after that 3% of people who are interested in the buying mode? And what if simultaneously you were able to nurture that 6 to 7% and that 30% of people who are not thinking about it but know they need it down the line, what if they were being nurtured on autopilot automatically while simultaneously going after that 3% of people who are ready to take action and buy right now? That's what's going to enable you to not just have sales coming in consistently, but automatic sales down in the pipeline. Because you guys know, you guys get a ton of prospects who are telling you, yeah, come back in a couple of months, I'll think about it. What if you automatically nurtured and followed up with those prospects on autopilot? That's what's going to enable you to not just close right now, but maximize your close rates down the line. Because we're pre-framing the prospect to perceive you as the number one option in your market, the only logical choice. Through our brand response campaigns, their perception is these guys must be the number one people in my market. I've got to go with them. So you're not having to price shop, you're not having to give them the cheapest bid, etc. That's maximizing your close rates, not just now, but in the future as well, enabling you to get results like this. So here's some more results from one of our clients: 245 inbound phone calls in just 1 month. How different would your business look right now if you got an extra 200 inbound phone calls, guys? Because again, perception is worth more than reality in this day and age. So why is branding and all that sort of stuff so important? Well, in 2019, we must truly understand the new prospect journey. Again, there's so much competition. And with so much noise going on right now in the marketplace, it has never been more important to have to stand out. If you guys have advertised on Home Advisor, for example, you know they're giving that lead to 4 or 5 other contractors. How do you compete? Because that prospect's going with whoever gives them the cheapest bid or whoever has the biggest brand. So with that in mind, let me ask you guys a question. And I want you guys to think about this. How many times has a prospect initially inquired with you, you give them an estimate, you give them a quote, but they didn't close, but you know they got the job done down the line except with a competitor? Guys, it happens all of the time. And again, I said it's because of the lack of follow-up. Now I understand it's difficult to follow up with that people because you don't have the manpower, right? But we automate that process for you. Again, acting as an extension of your sales team. And here's another thing. We also reactivate and reignite old prospects, maximizing each and every opportunity by re-engaging old leads, again, in an automated way. I'll give you a short example. One of our clients came to us and he had a list of 330 prospects, 330 plus prospects that they had gave a quote to but didn't close. And we asked them, well, what are you doing with that list? How are you guys leveraging that list of people who already know you, already like you, already trust you? They just didn't pull a trigger. They didn't close for whatever reason. And he said, oh yeah, well, we give them a phone call every couple of months to just touch base. Well, we put them onto an email and text message campaign, and they closed close to $200,000 worth of projects in a couple of short weeks, just with one email campaign, a text message campaign that went out to his list of people who already know, like, and trust him. Guys, you must have reactivation and re-nurturing campaigns and systems in place to automatically follow up with old leads. Otherwise, I could guarantee you're leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table right now. So let's talk about the Project Momentum Machine. I want us to take a second to walk you through what happens and what occurs when you have all of these systems in place. But first, let's take a second to talk about the 2 types of roofers out there. And I want you to think about which category you fall under. So number 1, you have the grinders. These are the people who make some money sometimes, but no money most of the time, or spend far too much time making far too little. And then you have number 2, the rainmakers. These are the people who are absolutely crushing it, making more and more money, building more and more wealth, and spending less time doing so. My question to you is, what makes these 2 types of roofers different? Are they better than you? Do they have better options if they offer financing? Well, not necessarily. It's that they understand how the snowball effect works and takes place over time. So let's say you start advertising, right? And month 1, you got a 10 to 1, 20 to 1 return on investment. That's pretty good. Now, some of the leads from month 2 begin to close. Some of the leads from month 3 begin to close. And some of the leads from month 5 and 6 are now closing because you have a system in place to nurture and automatically follow up with that prospect, so you can never have a dry spell of projects. You always have deals in the pipeline ready to go. And what's the result of executing this correctly? Is that you'll finally be able to stop relying on inconsistent lead sources and you will consistently grow. Now, with that in mind, guys, let me ask you a question. Are you guys enjoying this training so far? I mean, do you see how this could work? With everything I've literally just walked you through, do you feel like you could put the system into place? So what I want to know is, who here is an action taker? Who wants to have this entire system set up and handled completely for them, up and running in just 72 hours. And who wants to get guaranteed results as early as next week? If that sounds like you, then click the schedule now button below if you're ready for guaranteed results and an endless supply of qualified projects. Guys, we literally guarantee you results or you just don't pay. So at this point, guys, you see our entire training. There's just two options left here. You can continue relying on all these shared or unqualified leads, going door to door, not knowing where your next project is coming from. You can take time to spend doing all the technical work, staying up to date with marketing, all this online stuff that you know that you should be doing, but it's kind of like wandering through a desert all alone. You don't really have a roadmap, you don't know where to go, and it's kind of like doing things the hard way. You're trying to crack a lock that has 10,000 different combinations. Or option number two is quite simple. You can schedule a no obligation free strategy call where we'd love to learn more about your business, your goals, and see if our services would be a good fit. And again, guys, we do guarantee results, right? We're so confident in our system and the way that it works that we actually guarantee you results or you just don't pay. So go ahead, click the schedule now button below to schedule your call, and we look forward to talking with you guys soon. Now, before we do, I did want to preface, this is only for you if you are a serious business owner who is looking to grow. If you're currently running ads online, on TV, on newspaper, on radio, on mailers, or you're going door to door, you're using Home Advisor, and you're just looking for a better ROI. And you also must have room for at least an extra 5 to 10 projects a month because we have guarantees, we know we're going to get them. Okay, and you also must be open-minded. If you're a good fit, we'll discuss inviting you into our program to build you a true project generating machine. So guys, let's take a second to talk about the only risk here. It's exclusivity. Guys, exclusivity is real. As you guys know, we are in a ton of different markets right now. And because of our guarantees, we can only work with one contractor per geographical area. And so there's a ton of opportunity costs. And really, there is no risk because the results are guaranteed. Now, with that in mind, I do want to preface there's a warning. Time is a factor, and the window of opportunity for this strategy call will not be open for long. That same ad that you came from, we get over 200 inquiries a month in our Patients on Demand program. And we only work with people that we know we can help and that we don't currently have someone in that service area. And so I highly, highly encourage you to go below, click right now to apply, and schedule your call. And we look forward to talking with you guys soon. Take care.